now tuned in to Rolling with Rock podcast.
Mila on the track. Vibe check, baby.
Yellow Pages on the track.
Shout out Yellow Pages.
Is this thing even on?
Shout out Makai. Yeah, baby. We on.
Yo,
We about to scoop.
Yeah.
Hottest new podcast on the airwaves.
Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to Rolling with Rock podcast,
Yes,
y'all.
sir. Welcome to the show, y'all. I hope y'all enjoy the show.
I really do.
Yes, sir. I'm finna enjoy it. Show is.
Yeah, indeed. Let go.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the next episode of Rolling with Rock podcast. It's me, your boy Rock. Been incognito for a couple weeks. I know y'all know how I get after every episode, man. I give it a couple weeks, try to get some more topics, try to get some more things to talk about, and I'm out here still just kind of living life. So with that, man, sometimes we just get a little busy. You know, I have to, get my ducks in a barrel, or what's it called, monkeys in a barrel, get all my ducks aligned, or whatever it is they say. But it's been pretty good. It's been a pretty good little process, man. I'm here. I went and took a trip not too long ago. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of a place called Bahrain before, but for those of y'all who follow, right now I'm out here living in Saudi Arabia. It's been pretty cool still so far. Weather's cooling down. We down to the hundreds, high 90s now, so that's considered good weather. I'm going to take it for what it is, because to me it feels like it's about 70 degrees. So, I mean, I guess it's almost kind of like a fall for us, except there ain't really no trees for leaves to actually fall. So we're going to take this high 90, low 100 degree weather and appreciate it, because at least it ain't in the 120s no more. But I took a little trip this past weekend, went out to a place called Bahrain. Now, Bahrain is a little east of Saudi Arabia. It's a little bitty island out there that has a Navy base out there, and a couple fun things for you to do outside of Saudi Arabia. So, here in Saudi, it's very traditional, still, very Muslim. So their beliefs and everything are a little bit different, with the no drinking, they don't have any clubs, any like bars or like lounges, nightlife, anything like that. But then you can travel a few hours up the road to our little spot called Bahrain, where they do have the luxuries of doing those. So I went up there and celebrated one of my buddy's birthdays, and it was pretty fun, man. It kind of gave me almost like a taste of being back home. So it was very comfortable to be there. It had a beach, it had hotels, bars, clubs, food, a bunch of touristy things to do. I enjoyed myself. a lot. Went and did that. That was my first time actually getting to get out and actually like do something since I've been here. So it felt good to kind of just like get back into the environment that I grew up in, which is, the city life and everything else. Because out here, my living arrangements are a little bit different. So it felt good to go finally do that. What I've been planning on and what I've been working on for the past couple weeks is I'm actually taking a trip to London. So yeah, I know, London, whoop-de-whoop. I know a lot of people know or watch football, the NFL football. So for me, I'm a pretty big football fan. And being that the Titans aren't playing in London, and I'm a huge Titans fan, it's cool. I still go watch some football in London. So what I did was I bought me some tickets about a couple months ago when they finally went on sale. Now, these tickets are for Jacksonville and Miami. I'm not a Jacksonville fan. I'm not a Miami fan. But I do like football, and I'm on the other side of the world, and the closest I can get to watching a football game is to go to London and watch this game that's coming up. So I've been working to do that. Well, they have this app out here where it's how they track COVID. Of course, of all weeks, my app decides it doesn't want to work on the week that I could be leaving to go to this game, which is this week. So I've been dealing with that, trying to get this app up and running, because if I done bought these tickets and bought this flight to go to London that ain't cheap, I ain't gonna be too happy if I ain't gonna be able to go to this game. So I've been working with my team, trying to get this application fixed so I can get out this country to go check out another country, and hopefully then I'll be able to get some good pictures and potentially get a good episode out there. Possibly find somebody out there who's willing to do an episode, or just record myself and just kind of talk about the experiences out there in London, but I really do look forward to going to London. That's been one of the it's been one of the biggest things I've been trying to do since I got here about 2 months ago. But other than that, man, keeping up with me, man. It's Halloween time. It's Halloween time. It's October 10th, so you guys know, Halloween is 21 days away. It's a highly anticipated holiday for us Americans. That's for the other followers out there who don't necessarily keep up with the routine of how things go. Because I know in a lot of other places they don't celebrate Halloween. I know over here in Saudi Arabia they do not celebrate Halloween. They may have occasional little parties and little get-togethers where they dress up in costumes, but like we do it back in America, they ain't doing that out here. So the closest thing I'm going to get is watching Halloween movies. And for me, that's one of my favorite things to do throughout the year. I'm out here watching Chucky, Jason, Freddy, It, Jeepers, Creepers. I even took it, down a notch to the PG-13 level and with Edward Scissorhands with it, man. Like, I'm out here really diving into this Halloween theme, and I do this every single year. I do it with my kids. I do it by myself. Just kind of get you in the fall spirit. Let me say that correctly. Gets me into the fall spirit. So I've been doing a whole lot of that and just keeping up, man. There's not a whole lot to do out here when you're out here, by yourself. I got friends and everything, but, people got lives. People got families they got to keep up with. People got, new friends they making. They got goals they trying to achieve, whether that's in the gym or, whatever it is they do in their personal time. So whenever I get my personal time, that's just something I chose to do, was dive into this whole scary movie vibe thing, and it's been pretty fun, man. It's been cool keeping up with it and contacting people, and people are like, yo, did you ever check out this one movie? And here I am, I'm diving into it, just so I could keep up with the theme of things and making sure everything's still going just as normal as it was when I was at home. But I remember my kids, so my two baby girls, they're pretty young. They're about 4 years apart, but I started them on scary movies pretty young, and what that has done for me is it has allowed me to be able to take them places and do different things with them without them being so scared. Because I'm telling you, once they can make it through Chucky or what's the dude name with the chains, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, ain't nothing for to scare these girls, man. So I plan on, when I get back home eventually next year or something, I'm going to take them to a haunted house or something, man, because now I feel like they'll be old enough to appreciate something like that without being scared to death. And that's just a vibe that they daddy into, So I hope to definitely do that. The scary movies is going to continue. And if y'all got any scary movies out there that I need to watch, because I'm sure there's other types of scary movies that I haven't seen. Most of mine that I've seen have been pretty mainstream, like I said, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, who else? It, Chucky, all the mainstream. But I mean, don't get it twisted. I'm out there watching, House of a Thousand Corpse. I'm watching the movies where the little kids or the girls are possessed. And man, look, y'all hook me up with some of the good movies out there, because I know y'all out there know some of these scary movies that's going to probably keep me from sleeping. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. But I'm just into that kind of stuff, man. And I think that it's cool. I think that it's something that, keeps me going. Like I said, it's a little hobby of mine. I don't collect toys. I don't collect toy cars. I don't do nothing like that. I watch scary movies in the month of October. That's my that's my hobby for right now, and staying into the gym. But keeping up with that, man. Doing a whole bunch of research, to continue chasing my dreams. I know I try to preach to you guys, hey, if there's something out there that you want to do, you're gonna have to get out there and just go do it. And one of mine, as I've mentioned, I believe I've mentioned that before on the show, is getting out there. And I want to be able to, start my own bar. I want to be able to own my own business. And I've been trying to, keep up with that. So a lot of the times when I'm not recording, it's not because I don't want to record, man. I gotta prioritize. And that's something that I feel like a lot of us probably should do more often, is prioritize. Not just what we want to do, but what we have to do as well. One of the biggest things that we should learn about prioritizing is balancing it. So a lot of people don't have kids. A lot of people, don't own businesses. A lot of people really got it made or got it pretty easy, and they can prioritize however they want to. And that's cool. I'm not knocking, the people who who are out here, and they're able to prioritize to their own level. But for a lot of us, man, we got our hands full, you know, and it can be overwhelming sometimes. And by not prioritizing correctly, we push off some of the things that we really, really want to achieve and want to accomplish. So we're able to still have kids. We're able to still have a life. We're able to still be on the other side of the world and prioritize to set ourselves up for, you know, anything that we want to achieve. So that's kind of what I've been doing with my show, kind of what I've been doing with my job, with my family, with my friends. So if I'm not reaching out as much, or if I'm not as involved as I used to be, it ain't like nothing took a hit or nothing bad happened. It's just how I prioritize now is just a little bit differently. And I have to do that in order to make it to my next stop. You know, we all on this journey, you know, it's just a matter of where you at with it. And with me, I have to prioritize, you know, all these things that I'm holding on to, because we can carry a lot on our shoulders, man, a lot of responsibility, a lot of, you know, things that we believe we owe people or what people owe us. So definitely I would recommend if you're out there and you just feel like you got a lot on your plate, it's definitely something you can handle. I would just 100% recommend that you just prioritize it, you know, put what's most important first. And, you know, follow suit, boom, 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 all the way down the line. And everything will have its time and everything will have its place. And it will come. It'll come naturally. So I kind of do the same thing with the show, which is why I don't have an episode every week. I don't have them every 2 weeks. Sometimes I don't have them for 3 to 4 weeks. It's just a matter of how or when I'm able to actually sit down and get in front of this microphone and talk to you guys again, man. And I love it. I do love it. But yeah, it's 100 different things going on right now. So now I've made it back to this one, and it feels good to at least be able to talk about it. So being overwhelmed is something that we can't control, but we can definitely adjust how we are becoming overwhelmed just by prioritizing. So y'all get out there and make sure y'all get all y'all's monkeys in the barrel or ducks in the barrel or something like that they say. But another thing I wanted to touch on, too, was I'm noticing that a lot of my friends on social media, and not just even in social media, I'm noticing on social media, but they're my friends, of course, in real life. But they're out here, they're entrepreneurs, man. There's a lot of people starting things, a lot of people starting businesses, a lot of people starting clothing brands, a lot of people are starting moving trucks, you know, freights. There's people that are diving instructors now. Like, there's just so many different things that people are doing out there, all the way from like stand-up comedy to photography. I wanted to give y'all a shout out because I know how hard it is to literally try to perfect your craft or whatever it is, whether that's pursuing, you know, acting, a modeling career, makeup, whatever it is that you do. We all try to perfect our craft, and I applaud people who actually use social media as their platform, because it is extremely hard to please everybody who you grew up knowing. It's actually one of the hardest things ever. You know, you can make anybody laugh, you know, in person. You can make anybody smile. You can make anybody, you know, upset. You're not going to please the whole world, but for people to be as brave as using their platform to try to push their product, push their profession, push their goals or anything like that, I applaud you, man, because it is hard. And even having, you know, a podcast, which is something that I don't benefit from monetarily. I don't make money off of my podcast. I haven't yet. Let me say that. I'm sure there will come a time where this may become my full-time job, and I could probably make some money off of doing this thing. Who knows? I might end up hosting my own show, but it's still something that I have noticed that a lot of people are out there doing. And I applaud you, man. And I think that you guys should continue to stay on this journey of using your platform. From me to you, I'm clapping now. I know that, you know, you'd have to watch the show to get the appreciation, but whoever is watching this, and if you're on your journey to start your own business, whether that's a cleaning company, whether you got a photo studio, whether you got a hair salon, whether you a dancer, or just there's so many different things that people are out here doing. And I wish that we, as, you know, our little small community, which we know, we all know somebody who started something. If we could just support each other more, getting that support from people at home, literally branches you out. That's how you make your way out, and you branch out and become a better version of you, and then you can exceed with whatever product it is you got. They say it takes a village, so it does start at home, and it's only because these people know you. And as they help share your stuff, whether that's your product or your idea, your music, whatever it is, if they share it, then more people are seeing it. More people are pushing for it. More people are supporting you. But it definitely starts with us. So even if you did start, or somebody in your hometown did start a clothing brand or something of that nature, hop on there, man. Like, get a T-shirt, get a hat, get a wristband, buy a sticker for them and stick it somewhere, man. All you're doing is helping your community. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the only way we're going to make it out of here. We're not in California. We're not in Los Angeles, and we don't have access to, $100,000 merchandising and everything. We're literally making it out of our backyard. So in order for us to become successful, we definitely may, and sometimes, have to lean on each other. And like I said, I'm using my platform to give homage to people who are doing that, because I see you, I notice it, I think it's great. I'm starting to get to the point now to where if I'm ever to use any type of like help or assistance, or if I need somebody to build something, move something, create something, show up at my kid's birthday party to dance, anything that I'm able to like call and try to get somebody to come do it for me, I'm starting to get to the point now to where I'm actually going to look for people that I know that do it first, because we got to start giving each other more opportunities out here. We spend a lot of money on high-end stuff like, Gucci, Dior, all these designer stuff. And don't get me wrong, it's nice. If you like it, buy it, by all means. I'm not trying to tell people don't buy it no more, because I'm not boycotting those brands. Those brands had to start from somewhere, I was doing some reading the other day, and I was reading about Fubu. I know a lot of people, first of all, I used to wear Fubu. Y'all used to clown me when I wore Fubu, so upside all y'all heads who used to clown me for my Fubu. But check this out. I was reading the other day, and Fubu is making a comeback. Fubu is actually bringing their brand back. Now, Fubu is a company that was started by, I think, like 4 gentlemen in New York, I want to say. And the brand is called For Us, By Us. So what they did was they created a brand that was started in their little community. I think one dude had like $14 in his pocket to start off with. Well, now it's $1 billion brand, and everybody's heard about it. We've seen it in videos. It was back in the day when DMX would wear it. All types of, like, 50 Cent would wear it. Shoot, if I'm not mistaken, I think like Aaliyah used to rock it. And everybody up north, everybody in like that New York area rocked Fubu super, super hard. It was big, but it started from a dream and $14. Like, that's what happens when you can get your community, your people behind you to support you and your product. And that's just Fubu now. I'm not saying everybody can be the next Fubu, but I mean, it's the idea that is very, very possible. And that goes with a lot, like music, for everybody out there making music, keep singing. I don't care if you only got 3 listeners. Them 3 listeners are going to be your favorite 3 listeners until they share you enough to them 3 going to turn into 15. 15 turn to 60. 60 done turn into 150. And then 150 to turn into 200,000. I'm manifesting it for you, because that's exactly how this works. But you got to perfect your craft, be able to accept criticism. Everybody's not going to like what you're putting out. You can't please the entire world. We aren't perfect human beings, and we ain't never going to be perfect, which means we are never going to be able to please every single person. No matter how many good vibes or positive vibes I put out to my show, there's still going to be somebody up there that I'm upsetting, I'm sure, based on maybe what I'm saying, what I'm agreeing with, or whoop-de-whoop, whatever. And I just got to live with that. I'm totally open to accepting criticism, but at the same time, I'm going to use that and grow. I'm going to use that and continue to go upwards in my direction with my product, which in my case happens to be the podcast. So, yeah, man, I think that supporting each other is something that's big. I wanted to hit it. There's guys out there who are cleaning cars, doing mobile cleanings. There's guys out there that are coaching. There's gentlemen and women out there who are doing hair, nails, eyelashes, eyebrows, makeup. Like, we don't have to go super crazy spending all our money to try to match what the next person is doing. So if the most popular thing is to go spend $7,000 on, Dr. Miami to go do your procedure, you could be taking, some dietary tips from your local nutritionist who you went to high school with, who actually knows what they're talking about and could put you onto the same regime cheaper, and you can help that person get, noticed. I'm going to keep hitting it, man. So it's just something that I feel passionate about. And I've been the type of person to always support the people that are from my city, whether that's buying T-shirts, wearing it online, whether that's buying hats, stickers, whether that's, giving them a shout out on my page, or if they have like car services, I show up and let them do some work on my car, give them a shout out. That's what it takes, man. That's definitely what it takes. If you want to, grow and continue to be successful. But I hope that you guys are out there, hoping that you guys are willing to take advantage of that by going out there and helping somebody. I know that, in the midst of, the scary movies and everything else that I watch while, my downtime is in and I'm chilling, I had to check out this Dave Chappelle, The Closer. Now, I know a lot of people really don't mess with stand-up comedy, or really don't mess with people who do comedy. It's not for everybody, but for me, I love comedy. I absolutely love comedy, and I've been watching Dave Chappelle since the 90s. I believe the first time I've seen Dave Chappelle was on The Nutty Professor, when he was Reggie. He had his hair all crazy and everywhere. I got my hair like that now, so I guess you could say I'm somewhat influenced by Reggie from Nutty Professor. But now Dave Chappelle's been in the game for a minute, man. And for the people out there who really don't understand what he's saying or what he's doing, y'all got to understand something, all right? Dave Chappelle don't give a fuck what y'all think about him, period, point blank whatsoever. It's not for him to try to please anybody. If he could piss everybody off, I'm sure he would and wouldn't care, because everything that he's saying is just his belief. And a lot of the times it's very factual. A lot of his opinions have pissed a lot of people off because he jokes around a lot about the LGBT community. I hope I'm saying that right. I don't want to piss anybody off either, but a lot of the things that he was saying, a lot of his jokes that we grew up on, and we know his sense of humor. We know what he is serious about. We know when he's joking. We know when he's like just trying to make us laugh and be funny. But I feel like a lot of people don't know what type of comedian he is, and they take it to heart. They take it too serious, because it seems to me like in The Closer, and I'm going to just touch base on The Closer. I'm not going to even bring up or talk about any of the other specials that he's done on Netflix, but for The Closer, it seemed to me like he was using that platform to clean up whatever confusion there was about him being quote unquote transphobic, homophobic, or anything of that nature. And I felt like he did a really good job, keeping it funny, keeping it real, but also like cleaning up what confusion people may have had with him and how he feels about that community, because on stage he is allowed to joke. We grew up in the 90s where people didn't just joke about, people being gay or transgender or anything. They joked about everything. They joke about black people being black, white people being white. They use different voices, different names, chew their gums different. Like, that's comedy. That's funny. If we're able to laugh at that, if we're able to laugh at every other race and every other gender, why can't we laugh at transgender jokes? So he's trying to pretty much like, hey, welcome to the world, people who have been accepted, but along with everybody else in every other race, we can still joke about you too and still have fun with it. And I feel like that's kind of where he was going to with it, because as he was still having fun with it, he was having to apologize so many times. And I get on the internet the very next day and notice like cancel culture has come back out and tried to cancel Dave Chappelle because they felt offended by his show, which in his show he was referencing how that culture are canceling people because they want to be equal. That is being equal. Welcome to equal. Like, I will continue to be talked about. My race will continue to be talked about. My gender will continue to be talked about from today on till forever. And that's just because it's a hot topic in comedy. Black men, interracial relationships, dudes with long hair, beards, anything. They could talk about anything. I can't get offended by everything. Everything isn't directed towards you or to offend you. It's honestly just a comedian up there speaking his opinion, speaking his truth. And if you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it. He's not a political stance, or he's not a person that's in charge of making sure you get paid every day. It's just a dude on the stage trying to make people laugh. And I felt like he did a great job. So for a lot of the people out there who were confused about his special on Netflix called The Closer. I'd say check it out, and then you can voice your own opinion of it. But you also got to understand what type of comedian he is, because Dave Chappelle's not a Kevin Hart. Dave Chappelle's not a Steve Harvey. Dave Chappelle's not a Gabriel Glaciers. He's not any of these comedians that we grew up laughing at, hee hee ha ha, funny story. This is a whole nother genre of comedy that you just have to have a acquired taste for, because it's not for everybody. So much that he even took his leave from Comedy Central. So you got to understand the type of dude this is and what he means by what he's saying. So I wanted to stand up and take up for him in that matter, just on that little small note, because I definitely feel like it was a misunderstanding. And I feel like sometimes people are getting too sensitive, and you don't have to be so sensitive to the point to where everybody's got to get canceled. Just because somebody's doing something you don't like, don't mean that they deserve death. They deserve not to live, breathe, or be happy. Anything that is unethical and immoral, don't get me wrong, I agree. All right, hey man, a little too far. Hey man, that's pretty fucked up. But a comedian on stage, their sole purpose is to be up there for comedy. And once you get too sensitive, it almost feels like, comedy's being stripped away from us. We're not laughing at people's pain. We're laughing at the relevance in which this whatever story he's telling is told. Because I don't think that I will agree, he even mentioned this, that I don't think that it is funny, or I don't think that it is acceptable to laugh at people's struggle, laugh at people's pain, laugh at people's change. And that's not what he's aiming to do. So again, if you haven't watched it, but you're only going off of what other people say, I'd say check it out, because it's definitely a misconception of what people may think he's doing or talking about on stage. And it's still just comedy. So I had to hit that and end it on a note in which, I was just thinking about it and I brought it up. But on a more positive note, all of my Free Britney people out there, Britney Spears is free. We did it. I know the internet is a very powerful place, and they're very powerful for canceling people. But it actually worked. All right. We canceled Britney Spears' dad. I guess he gave up or turned over his rights in the conservatorship that he had her placed on for like 15, 16 years or something like that. But Britney got her life back, and that's a good thing. I look forward to actually seeing like what she decides to do. Which route she's going to go in. Is she going to come back to music? Is she going to be an internet sensation for us? Because Britney Spears was our, how do you say this? Rihanna, our Beyonce. That was my time's version of that. That was our 90s princess. So we lost her for a couple years, and I believe she's back. She may not be the same, but all the efforts and all the people signing petitions, all the people making some noise on the internet, it worked. It was a successful what was the word I'm trying to use? It was a successful fight for her to get her life back. I just hope that she goes in the right direction with it. And even if she chooses not to go in the right direction with it, it's her right. She's free now. So welcome back, Britney. And, I hope that the world is just as nice to you as you were to us. So, yeah, man, I want to wrap this up. This episode has been fun. I'm going to definitely try to get back on here in the next couple weeks and hit you guys with some more topics. I'll keep you posted. And for those of y'all who follow me on my social media, of course, you'll be seeing pictures when I make it to London. I really hope I can actually get out there. That's something that I'm going to try to use the rest of the week fixing, because if I'm not able to make it out there, I mean, who knows what type of crazy I'll be if I'm stuck here for the duration of that game. I've already spent too much money, so I got to try to figure out a way to get on a plane and get out of here. So it's been real, and thanks for rolling with your boy Rock. Y'all hold it down. Peace.